Hey everyone, welcome to the first recap video of the 100 Book Challenge, first video on this YouTube channel. I'm going to be going in depth over all of the first week, how many scans I did, how many books I took home, what my accept rate was, to hopefully help you guys improve your results or learn from my mistakes, more likely. I also want to apologize for the quality of this video. All my video stuff I had left in my car, which my wife just took to work for the whole rest of the day. So following videos will hopefully be a better video quality. My mic will be here, so it won't be all fuzzy audio like this is. I'm literally just propping my phone up on my phone stand on my desk, recording this. But you guys can still get the point. I can still get everything across to you. But yeah. So here we go. Here's all the numbers for week 1. This is my week 1 review of the week, how many books I got, how many sources I went to, scans, all of that good stuff. So we'll jump right into it. This first week started out rough. To be honest, the whole week did not go exactly as I had planned. The amount of scans I did compared to the amount of books I actually took home were not normal. They're way below normal. But let's just go right into it. First day, I wanted to start off the week well, so I went to what's normally my best source, where I could normally take away at least 30 books every single time I go there. I scanned everything they had there, which was 228 books, and I walked out of the store with 2 books, which was disappointing. So I went to a second store that same day. I scanned 638 books, somewhere I'd never gone to before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I walked out of that store with 2 books as well. So I had to go to a third store. I scanned 551 books and I came out with 7 books. So total scans for the first day was about 1,400, 1,417 scans to be exact. And I came away with 11 books, which makes my accept rate a little under 1%, which is not where you want it to be if you're trying to get 100 books a week. So I ended my day there since I'd already been to 3 stores. Day 2, a little bit better in some ways. I scanned 499 books and I came away with 7. Now, the store had a lot more books than 499 and I was planning on scanning a lot more than that. But this little OPN 2002 normally lasts 2 days in the charge. It happened to not last 2 days in the charge that day, so I learned from that. I'll be charging that little thing every single night now. So I came out with 7 books. I started doing it with my phone for a little while. It took a really long time. I had to be somewhere, so I had to leave. So learned my lesson. I'll be charging my scanner every single night now. But I scanned some of the books there, came with 7. Day 3, I scanned 1,030 books at a single location and came away with 17 books. Day 4, went to 2 different locations. First one I scanned 572, came away with 3 books. Second location, scanned 578, came away with 7 books. Day 5, went to 1 location, scanned 848 books, came away with 9. If you're catching on, these accept rates still are not very good. They're not what would be considered more of a standard accept rate. They're very low. But day 6, scanned 796, better day, came away with 24 books that time. And then day 7, the very last day of the challenge, went to 2 different places. One of them being a sale, which wasn't the best sale. There was not a ton of books and a lot of people there scanning, but I scanned 731 books, came away with 14. And then I went to another local thrift store, scanned 591 books, and I came away with 11. So the weekly totals for week 1, I scanned a total of 7,062 books. Let me scroll down here a little bit and see the rest of them. Came away with 103 books for week 1, so it just barely broke that 100 book threshold, but I did break it. Hit 100 books week 1. My average accept rate over the entire week was 1.5%. After uploading all of them to Accelerlist and listing them on Amazon, the total valuation was $2,511. Estimated profit, that is if all the books that I listed sold and sold at the price they're originally listed for, which won't exactly happen, it'll be less than that. but the estimated profit number is $1,271, which is a little higher actually than I was expecting, but right around where we want it to be. If we want the total profit in that first year to be around $10,000, and we have 13 weeks to do this, and we know we're not going to sell every single book we list, we're going to want that profit to be somewhere around $1,000 each week to give some wiggle room in there. So $1,200 estimated profit is good. Average list price, a little higher than normal, is $24.37, and then the average profit per book for week 1 was $12.34. So scanning didn't go great this week. The accept rate wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I hit my goal. I hit 103 books. It was done, it was possible. I still did work this week. Everything else was normal. Just had to work a little bit harder than I was planning to be able to get those 103 books. And it set it up nicely for week 2. I got week 1 accomplished, which would have lowered my morale a little bit, I think, if I couldn't get week 1. But if you tried to do it, you didn't get 100 books like you had planned, something went wrong, maybe you had a really low accept rate too, maybe your sources didn't have as many books to scan. As long as you went out, as long as you committed to it and scanned and got those scans in, that's the most you can do. The reason why I was tracking scans so much is because I want to know scans are what I can 100% control. I can control how many books I scan. I can do things to try and increase my accept rate, but ultimately I can't decide how many profitable books are going to be the source I go to, but what I can control is how many books that I scan in a week. So I'm going to be tracking scans along with accept rates. So I know if one week I scan 7,000 books like I did this week and come away with 100 books, next week let's say I only come back with 50 books, but I scanned the same number of books. I'm not going to be as hard on myself because I know I worked just as hard as I did that first week. I just didn't happen to have as good of accept rates. Or the other way around. Maybe I'll scan 7,000 books next week and I'll come away with 200 books, which would be amazing. But that's why I'm tracking my scans. So scans matter. I would track those personally. That's just my recommendation. It'll help you judge how much effort you put in that week or what type of sources you're going to. A second tip I'd have for you is, even though it's called the 100 book challenge, I said I'd focus on scans, but also focus on the profit you're bringing back from that week. Because ultimately the goal from this is to bring home profit. That's why you're doing this. I doubt you're doing this because you just enjoy going out and scanning books. If you do, that's great. But most likely you're doing this because you're trying to make money on the side. You're trying to build a business, maybe take this business full time eventually. So profit matters more than the actual books that you're bringing in. I would have been happy if I brought in 50 books this week and had the same exact profit evaluation from those books, because that's what my ultimate goal is, not to get exactly 100 books. 100 books is just a goal to keep you consistent. So pay attention to the profit you're bringing home each week from those books that you've listed. So week 2, a couple things that I'll be doing to try and increase my accept rate a little bit to try and make that better. Number 1, I'm going to be going to different sources. Mixing up the sources, of course, is good, not hitting the same places you did last week, unless they're putting out books that fast. So I'm going to different sources. The number 2 thing, something Caleb was talking to me about yesterday, was paying attention to the data on the phone for rejects. I would, most of the time, just scan. Every time it was reject, I'd keep scanning. Once it hit accept, then I would evaluate, see if I actually want to take the book. Triggers are a good reference point, they're a good starting point, but they're not going to tell you everything you need to know, and they can't read into everything perfectly. So towards the end of this week, every time I was scanning, I'd keep an eye on the screen on every single scan and just real quickly glance at the E-score, glance at the lowest used merchant fulfilled and lowest prime offer it was there, just to get an idea of what that's going for. And it did increase my accept rate a little bit. There were a couple books I saw that I could actually take that were a reject initially. So that did help increase it a little bit towards the end of the week. Yeah. Then the third thing is just becoming more efficient at it. I've scanned books in the past, like I told you guys in that first video. I've been doing it off and on for about 2 years, but never as consistently as I have for this week. And even in 1 week of doing this every day and scanning the 7,000 something books that I scan, I've become a lot more efficient with scanning, going to know what sections to go to, how many books I'm able to scan through, and the time it takes. This coming week, I'll probably do a little video showing how long it's actually taking me to get through. I don't know, maybe 500 books we'll do. set a timer, see how long it's actually taking. And also another thing is, as far as time it takes, it also very much depends on the source. There's one source I went to that was amazing. Everything was placed out perfectly. The sections were in order, the books were in order. It was super easy to go through and take out the books and scan them. Another store I went to literally just had books all stacked all over the place on top of each other, and you guys have probably been to places like that. You know those are going to take a lot more time. You try and take out one book and the whole stack falls over and you lose the spot you're at. So you can't judge everything based on the time it takes, but it is good to set goals for yourself to try and improve your efficiency as you go along, while also still looking at that data on the screen and making sure you're making correct choices as you're going through and scanning. So thank you for listening to all of this, the week 1 update. Hopefully something about this helped you. I hope you guys got 100 books this first week. And I hope you guys get 100 books next week. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the Book Flipper community group. I'm on there as well as Caleb's on there. Shoot us an email, anything like that. We'd be happy to help out in any way we can. But yeah, thank you and good luck scouting this week.